Floyd Mayweather hating on Canelo. Quick video, guys. Floyd Mayweather's hating on Canelo. And everybody knows I'm a big Canelo fan, but I'm also a big Mayweather fan. Both of those fighters are in my top 3 favorite fighters list of all time. And I do personally think that Mayweather is the greatest fighter of all time. In my personal opinion, a lot of people aren't going to agree with me on this, but for many reasons, I believe Mayweather is the greatest fighter of all time, and he's my top 3rd favorite fighter of all time. But I gotta call it how it is, bro. Mayweather's hating on Canelo. Like, Mayweather's done everything he's done in his career. He doesn't got nothing left to prove. He's beat the champions. He's fought everybody in his time, in his era. He broke records, did numbers, crazy numbers that nobody else has ever done. And I respect him for all that, right? But so Gervonta Davis versus Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Whole fight week, you hear Mayweather just talking about Canelo, bringing him up, saying he's easy work, this and that, when Canelo has nothing to do with this fight. Canelo has nothing to do with Pitbull Cruz, with Gervonta Tank Davis versus Pitbull Cruz. And you see Mayweather all fight week just constantly like bothered, like just bring up Canelo. Like, I strongly believe that Canelo lives rent free in Mayweather's head, because every chance that he gets, he goes and has to bash Canelo or say something negative. Like, post-fight press conference after the Tank and Pitbull fight, Mayweather, I don't know if y'all saw it, but if y'all didn't check it out, y'all could go to Showtime Sports on YouTube and check out the post-fight press conference. And Mayweather gets up on there and he brings up Canelo and all the stuff that he's been saying about him all week, steroids, and he's easy work and blah, blah, blah. Saying that Canelo's not the best pound for pound and that he's the same fighter. You know, just everything he said. If you know, you know. But it's like, okay, Canelo's only lost to Mayweather, to the greatest fighter, arguably the greatest fighter of all time. You know this, Mayweather. So why are you saying that Canelo's easy work, that he's the same fighter? You're in a way, I feel like you're belittling yourself. If he was easy work, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like Canelo goes and in less than a year, in 11 months, he goes and conquers the whole division and defeats the champion, every champion, like a hitman, champion by champion, and becomes undisputed in an 11-month time span. And afterwards, Mayweather comes out and says, like, oh, I could have been undisputed. I could have done that. I could have did that if I wanted to. And if you know, Mayweather really could have been undisputed if he really wanted to, because Mayweather was the cash cow, the face of boxing, the top dog. Everybody wanted to fight him, no matter who it was. Even people from other weight classes wanted to fight him. So if Mayweather really, really wanted to fight, be undisputed in his time, he could have went and fought all the champions, whoever they were, and made those fights, because they were gonna, regardless, those guys were gonna make the fights. He could have went and fought anybody. Anybody would have fought him. He could have went and did that and became undisputed if he really, really wanted to. But then you see after Canelo does it, he's over here hating, saying like, oh, I could have been undisputed, like, if I really wanted to. Because Canelo achieved something that Mayweather's never done. Mayweather's never been undisputed in the 4-belt era. He's never been undisputed, and Canelo has. I just think that Mayweather is jealous. Like, he's just envious. He's jealous of what Canelo's got, what Canelo's doing, what he's got going on. Like I said, this fight, Gervonta Davis versus Isaac Pitbull Cruz, had nothing to do with Canelo. And all fight week, even after the fight week, you constantly see and hear Mayweather constantly bringing up Canelo's name, talking about him, bashing him. Like, bro, he's got nothing to do with this fight. Why are you bringing him up? Like, he lives rent-free in your head. Mayweather's the only guy that has ever beat Canelo. And he beat him decisively. Like, it wasn't even a close fight. Like, Mayweather picked him apart. Mayweather was like 30-something years old, like 35, 36 years old at the time. Canelo was 23 years old. Canelo was, I believe, coming off of, he already had a good resume at the time. He just beat Austin Trout, who was an undefeated American black fighter, southpaw too. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Austin Trout was just coming off of his biggest win in his career against Miguel Cotto, defeating Miguel Cotto, a legend. And so then Canelo and him unified belts. A lot of people say it was a close fight. I've seen a lot of people say that it was a close fight that Charles should have won, which I don't even see it. I don't even think it was a close fight. Like, I mean, I don't think it was a close fight like a lot of people do. I thought it was Canelo won like convincingly. At the worst, it could have been 7-5. At worst, but Canelo dropped him, hurt him, visibly hurt him, dropped him, made him do the stinky leg. So Canelo beats him, and then goes and fights Mayweather, 23 years old, a kid, wasn't ready. He thought he was ready. You can't blame him. He wanted to fight the best in the world. Came up short. He lost. Fair. He lost fair. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. You're boxing. You're a boxer. You want to be great. You want to be great. You want to be at the top of your sport. That's what all boxers want. He challenged himself to fight Mayweather because he thought he was ready. Him and his team, he wasn't ready. He came up short. Mayweather beat him decisively, and he lost to arguably the greatest fighter of all time. Like, can't knock him for that. And what did he do after that? He came back, and that loss, I believe, like, taught Canelo a lot, and he learned a lot from it. And he came back, and look at what he's done since then. And he's still so very young. He's only 31 years old, and he's over here saying he's still got 7 years left in him. Like, and he wants to fight 3 times a year. Like, who's doing that? Like, he's over here moving up to cruiserweight to fight, to become a 5th division world champ. Like, yeah, people can say what they want to say about him moving up to cruiserweight to fight this dude, Makabu. Say that it's a strategic cherry pick, but if you look at the stats, this Makabu has the highest KO knockout ratio out of all the cruiserweight champions right now. All the cruiserweight champions right now, this dude Makabu has the highest KO ratio, has the most knockouts. So he's obviously the most dangerous puncher. So I don't know why people say he's a cherry pick. Canelo's done all. He's constantly proving people wrong, breaking records, constantly creating history, fighting the best, champion after champion after champion. These guys, I don't know, bro. Mayweather's just, I don't understand why he's hating on Canelo. Like, you have no reason to hate on him. Like, you're the greatest fighter of all time. Nobody's broken your records. You've generated the most money, the most pay-per-view buys. Like, I don't know if Mayweather feels jealous, like if he thinks that Canelo's gonna... And you know what? After Canelo and Mayweather fought, the post-fight press conference, right after the fight, Mayweather's up on stage saying that Canelo's a true champion, quote-unquote. He said Canelo's a true champion, Canelo will be champion again, and he will be the next face of boxing after I leave the sport. That's what Mayweather said. He said Canelo's a hell of a fighter. That when he retires, Canelo will be the face of boxing. He knew, because nobody knows boxing like Mayweather. And then now that it's happening, something that you called, that you predicted, and it's happening now, and you're like jealous, you're mad, you're like, why? For what? Like, you said this out of your own mouth. Like, you predicted this years ago after y'all fought. And then now it's happening, and it's like, you're upset about it. Like, I just don't understand, bro. Like, Canelo's doing his own thing, like. And honestly, people always talk about, oh, let Mayweather fight Canelo right now. Like for what? What do y'all want to see that fight for? And I'm a big Canelo fan. Everybody knows I'm I'm his number one fan. I'm the biggest Canelo fan in the world. But for what? Mayweather's like 44 years old. Canelo's still 31. Why would y'all want to see that fight? Mayweather's old. He's not in his prime. Canelo is in his prime. Like, if that fight happens right now, I'd pick Canelo to win. But it's for what? Mayweather has nothing left to prove. He doesn't have nothing left to prove. There's a lot of Mayweather haters. There's a lot of racist people out there against all races, against blacks, Mexicans, whites, Eastern Europeans, the UK, Russians, whatever it is, right? Like, for what? Like, why would y'all want to see that fight? A 44-year-old guy who's retired, who has nothing left to prove against Canelo. Like, I wouldn't even want to see it. Now, Mayweather in his prime versus Canelo now in his prime, that's something I would want to see. But that's never going to happen because the age gap. But they already fought. At the end of the day, they already fought. Mayweather beat him decisively, and it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. So, I don't know why people... I don't know, but Mayweather's just a hater. And so, with that being said, this is a short video. I'm going to end this video now. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all can follow me at all my social medias. Instagram and Twitter at King Amador 16. Add me on Facebook at Alex Amador. And yeah, so make sure to go add me on my social medias at King Amador 16. Like I said again, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Amador 16, Facebook, Alex Amador, YouTube, King Amador 16. Make sure to like, comment on this video, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more fire content regarding boxing and barbering. And with that being said, I'm out. Peace. Thank y'all.